Much Love says, do you think the Saints have a chance to beat Buffalo? Yeah, they have a puncher's chance. I don't think they'll beat them. I thought that the Saints' closest opportunity to victory was the Arizona game, and they fuddled that one away. San Fran, because San Fran simply did not have any of its key offensive contributors. Never mind that, they still won. And Seattle, which was a team that was missing several pieces in the secondary. They were not a juggernaut, even though the Saints made them look like it. They just couldn't do it. And Buffalo is a team that is one of the elite teams, even though they're not playing perfect football. Very few are right now, but they'll do enough to beat the Saints in Buffalo. And I think the Saints will pull up a gallant effort, but I don't think the Saints beat the Buffalo Bills unless they eat Popeye spinach. Each one of them eat it and turn into something that we haven't seen this year, which is a competent football team that is disciplined, intelligent, not stupid enough to shoot itself in the foot every chance and self-sabotage. Unless they become something else, I give them no chance against this Buffalo Bill club. I mean, it's you can give them 1% chance if I have to do percentages. I say they have a 1% chance. They have a puncher's chance because everything could change depending on if Buffalo shows up and just overlooks the Saints as a trash organization or team and can do that. Once again, the Saints have to be intelligent enough to take advantage. They are a mess right now. It's a mess. And Kellen Moore. And then the crazy part about it is, man, it takes a lot of stuff to get the Saints right. What's going on with this team? It doesn't make any sense for veterans to behave this way over the first 3 weeks. A healthy team like they never played before with each other. You had Elvin playing with Chris Olave, with Rashid Shaheed. These guys have been playing football together for some time. Spencer Rattler's playing well enough to win games. I know he misses on a few throws if you look at the tape. And that's due large part because the line is so rickety. Like he doesn't even have in some of these, the film, and we'll look at it on Patreon tomorrow, family. He doesn't even have time to go through his progression on a few of these throws. So at some point, if you're the New Orleans Saints, man, you gotta look in the mirror. And it's a lot of talk going on with the Saints. The talk is over with, man. It's enough talk. It's time for action. You guys are getting paid. They're not delaying your paychecks. You need to show up and show out, man. And we shouldn't have to tell these guys that, but I guess we do. What's up, Bird Talk? Shout out to you. Thank you, Chantel, for that. I don't think I think it's Buffalo. And I picked Buffalo to win when we did the schedule show. I don't think they beat the Buffalo Bills. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think the Saints are on their way to an 0-5 situation. I mean, I say 0-5, 0-4. I hope I didn't say a Freudian slip there. 5th game is against the Giants. I hope they can beat the Giants, but then again, the Saints' main adversary is beating themselves. They can't stay out of their own way. What's up, DJ? Shout out to DJ State of the Pales 985 live in the building. Snake Bite as well. Big ups to you and all of the fam, man. Listen, shout out Saints Full Circle Podcast. What's up, fam? He said, Q, I'm going defensive heavy in this draft. I ain't mad at you, bro. Also, when you're drafting, bro, feel free to throw a few of those picks on some offensive guards, will you? Let's do that. Let's pick up a couple of guards, shall we? I mean, we have to pick up a few guards here. My goodness. We need some help. The guard position, I was saying that the last couple of years. Last year I was saying that the guard position was in a bad shape anytime you get Lucas Patrick as a starter. We needed to trade. We didn't do anything. And ultimately it kicked us in the backside, right? I don't think it is with it. I'm just keeping it real, fam. This team is not really doing much. All right. What's up, Gundam? Shout out to Gundam. Big ups to the rest of the fam. What's up, Ross the Boss as well? Gundam says we can win. Yeah, you got a puncher's chance. Black Major. Shout out to your fam. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream. What's up, Hendy and Newton? Shout out to your O-line, defense, and a kicker. My goodness, man. This guy's missed, how many kicks in a row now? Didn't Groupie miss like a kick every week? I mean, every week now? Is that right? Am I right here? Is that my mind's fighting against that logic? Did Blake Grupe miss a field goal every week for the last 3 weeks? Put that in the chat. Is that true? Or am I just hallucinating that? Chantel says Cleveland sucks too. It don't make me feel good that Cleveland is in the same boat as us. It really doesn't. But thank you, Chantel. I appreciate you sharing your pain, sweetie. All right. Yeah. Okay. Mac and G says yes. Beverly, what's up, Bev? She says, yes, he did. Yeah, he did, Q. Brother DeWine says, yep, he missed every week. Student says 3 in a row. That is insane. Do you guys realize how ridiculous that is? You got, and it's so ridiculous. What's up, Nola boy? Shout out to you, brother. This is awful, man. That we have a kicker here. This guy didn't make it. It's crazy the dichotomy of, because this guy was perfect in preseason, except for he missed one in the rain, but was kicking like a wildebeest and setting up for something nice, and then comes into it the first 3 weeks of the season, he's missed a field goal. He's missed a field. But it's covered up by how bad the team is, though, everywhere else, and how funky they are, right? And like I said, I like Kellen Moore, I really do. But the question when I was watching it, and shout out to my pops, we was talking about this on yesterday's recap stream. If y'all didn't get a chance to check that thing out, please do. Because we was giving some good game, Pops was dropping some jewels. I asked the question, I said, I was looking at Kellen Moore. I was saying Kellen Moore, man, is a very likable guy. Obviously, he's a smart man, right? I mean, he knows the X's and O's. And he's a cool dude. You can see the media people like to talk to him. And he's very approachable. He's a very good dude. You can look at him and see he's a cool dude. He's a good guy, right? You can talk some football with Kellen Moore, right? He'll talk to you. Yeah, this, that, and third. He'll talk to you. He'll stop in the store and talk X's and O's, which I actually believe that. Does his team respect his coaching acumen? I mean, the Saints have not. I mean, this is like they have went the defense. Like even the defense is the offense was inconsistent. The defense was really greatly or greatly or better yet further along in terms of what we seen earlier in terms of what they could be. Like we seen that the defense, their synergy and chemistry, they were locked in more so than what we seen from the offense. So you would think, okay, at least the defense you don't have to be concerned about. But just like with everything, fam, when the first couple of weeks, and we're in week 3, there's more than enough tape on Kellen Moore, offense, defense, and special teams where people can break the Saints down. And the San Francisco 49ers, and you've seen it in the Arizona game if you watch the film, even with the 49ers, they were getting behind the linebackers. They were running wide receivers behind the linebackers. The Saints was dropping the same coverage. And Staley has to do something about that because they figured out his defense. Fam, you watch football and you see how easily the ball was being moved on the Saints defense up in Seattle. There was no resistance. The quarterback had like 3 incompletions. He had 3 incompletions. The Seattle team went wherever it wanted, when it wanted in terms of its offense. It wasn't very little resistance being put up by the Saints defense. There was no defense. It was just offense. It was no D. It was no D. It was offense. It was offense to us to watch it. But this is the crazy part about it. Like you watch the tape, man, they're getting behind them linebackers, man. He has to adjust, and one of them guys got to come out of there, man. Now, even though Pete Werner had a lot of tackles and all that, but the Saints are going to have to do something about that situation. They need more athleticism inside the center of the defense. Just talking about the defense, there's a number of things that you can go into. It's crazy. A lot of what the Saints were doing, teams have figured it out, and they've started piecing it together. And every other team is going to start breaking the film down and looking, we can exploit these athletically challenged linebackers that sit in the center of the Saints defense. And to be quite honest with you, the running game is not all that either. The Saints are kind of not doing anything well. The special teams completely fell through the floor yesterday. Completely. Where's my sound effect for when they fall through the floor? Yeah, here you go. That's what the Saints defense did, and the special teams did. That's the Saints. Bumbling. That was the kicker right there. Yeah, that was Blake Grupe. He fell out too. That's what happened with the Saints. I mean, they were a complete disaster. And then that's what brings it to light. Like, okay, Kellen Moore is not going to go and curse at these guys like Sean Payton. He's not a cursor. He's not going to go point his finger at to tip of their nose and say, you are the problem, or you guys need this type of stuff. He's not going to do that. So he's going to talk, come on, guys, we got to play better. That's his stick. Is that enough? Is that going to be enough for the Saints this time? And like I said, I've been warning family members about this, even though I believe in the talent of our team. I was talking, remember, I was mentioning the psychology of players like Demario Davis and Cam Jordan and all these other guys that were here for the last 4 years and have got infected by losing. Remember, I mentioned that? Put one in the chat if you guys remember that. Because I got on a spiel and really got pissed off at Demario Davis because not because of the coach speak that he comes with. Like later on in the year, last year, he talked about how when they literally are eliminated from the playoffs, he says, we're not going to panic. What do you mean you're not going to panic? I guess you don't need to panic because y'all are done. You're cooked. Remember he had that long speech coming to the Who Dat Nation about the future. Oh, shut up, bro. What are you talking about? We don't want to hear that, man. That's not the proper place or time to have that type of speech and telling us. You need to tell your goddamn teammates that. I get pissed off right now thinking about it. And Demario Davis is a loved person, but that guy there, man, he was the one that never batted an eye or pointed a finger or anything aggressive at any of the losing the Saints were doing for the last 4 years. And he was supposed to be the leader of that team defense. He never said not one damn thing negative about how that team was ran by Dennis Allen, his homeboy. And I used to say how Demario Davis would literally march them effing players off the edge of the volcano behind Dennis Allen and never open or use a brain cell or a word to criticize how the team was losing. He's the perfect pitch man to come along with all of this F stuff about patience and all this kind of stuff. No, the patience is done. We've been patient. We gave y'all a chance 4 years ago, for the last 4 years, and all you did was sit up here and insult the support base by telling them to look beyond the results. And Mickey Loomis is playing games as a general manager. And the media people they're not gonna get too hardcore with the people because the Saints will not give them a press pass. I told y'all that too. They want complicit, silent, and very agreeable media coverage at all time. They will take your press pass away from you. Hey, a panel member was telling me, Q, go do that. I kick in the door on their ass if they deny my press pass and I spend hundreds of dollars to get there. They decide on if you get in the door, and if they don't like what you're saying, you don't get in the door. So why I'm playing no games? I got a bully pulpit and I'm gonna use it. If it's the truth, I'm going to say it where it's for my team or against my team. So what I'm saying is, where do the team go from here? They say, okay, Q, they were telling me in the comment section in DMs, they said, Q, this is what the national people say we was gonna be this type of thing. And I'm sitting up here saying to myself, we don't have to be what they say we're gonna be. They don't know who we are. But obviously some of the losing and the bullshit losing garbage time mentality infected this team. The Dennis Allen era has infected this team. It really has. We still have players on this team that still have that losing garbage, losing ass, give up mentality. And it showed its ugly face in Seattle. I mean, they had a whole week of practicing, and everybody, his mama, his grandma, and the grandpa, and the grandpa, and even the babies knew that if you was going to Seattle, that you would have to use a silent count because it's very loud. Did the Saints look like they had a silent count or knew what they was doing? Hell no, they didn't. No, they didn't. They didn't use anything. They just went up there and stunk. And that's the point. I don't care if Cam get on the plane and cuss at him and all that. Most of them dudes have dead on the plane. They sitting up there while Cam cussing at me like, yep, what, looking at their bank thing on the phone. Let me see if the Saints deposited this money right here. What you say, Cam? Oh, I ain't shit? Okay, I need to learn to tackle better? Yes, sir. They in the phone, checking the check, checking the bank account. Yep, that check cashed. Okay, what you said, Cam? I ain't shit. Okay, yeah. Man, come on, man. They got... Where do we go from here? That's the question, right? Where do we go from here? Well, shit, there's only one way to go up if you're at the bottom of the barrel.